Hi, Sarah here with my second Mind the Scrap layout process video for January. I am going for a black background this time and using papers from the main kit. I've also incorporated some felt stars that I got from my local supermarket when they were selling them off. They're like rustic Christmas decoration type things, and the colours were just perfect for the kind of colours I tend to go towards when I'm scrapbooking the boys. Not always though, to be fair. I do use pink with them and things like that, so it doesn't really matter, but I do use greens and blues because that tends to be the sort of colour clothes you can buy in the shops for them. Oh, and here's my older boy just helping me or hindering, who knows. And first off, all I've done is cut out my photographs. I've fussy cut around their heads on the first one, and on the second one I fussy cut around my little boy who's messing about, tipping himself upside down. Just because I've just really got into fussy cutting around my pictures a little bit recently. I've really enjoyed doing that. Now I've also got some texture paste. I'm just going to add some stars to the background here. A lot of these will get covered, but I'm not really fussed. It's, you know, it's just a bit of texture paste, so if there's a bit of peeking out, then I'm happy. For my papers, I just cut down squares for the background, ruffle them up with my scissors, and then I tore off a larger piece of pattern paper and two different blues to add that. And then of course I have my title ready as well, so I've pretty much got it all thought out in advance here. So now I've got some dry texture paste and those lovely stars. That stencil is by Bramble Fox, so I will link her shop below, as well as the Mind the Scrap shop. And these paints here are by Little Rainbow Moon, so again I will also link that shop. They're all small independent businesses in the UK run by women, so please go and support them if you like the look of anything you see here. So I've added lots and lots of splashes of these beautiful shimmery metallic paints that show up really nicely on black cardstock. And now I'm also going to add some gouache, which watered down slightly gives a lovely opaque white finish to some splashes. I'm doing this to try and blend the stars in with the rest of the background so that the white carries on down the page and there isn't three really obvious sections like the triangle, the rectangle, the triangle again. So it sort of blends it all, makes it flow together a little more. And now I'm going to piece everything back together on top of that dry background. And I'm just messing around with my paper layers. I end up changing them ever so slightly, trimming things down a little. But first off here, I'm just adding in some foam. I always add foam between my layers. I've mentioned this in quite a few different videos. It's just cheap foam from any craft store you'll pretty much be able to get it from. I got mine from Hobbycraft because that's the nearest one to me. And all I do is add tape, stick it down, add more tape, stick it down, and I tend to put a few I tend to put a few layers between my papers as I go down the layers to the bottom page bit. So as you can see, I'm just adding this other paper on a bit of an angle. I'm ruffling it all up. I want nice rough edges to all of my papers, and as you can see here, I just felt like there was a little too much paper, so I'm just trimming that down, ruffling the edges back up with my scissors and sticking that down as well so that the photograph pops off the page a little more than the rest. And then once I'm happy with that, I then do go in with some vellum as well. Now first off, I do this first. I add a piece of foam right across the back of those photographs, so they're basically stuck together with the foam, and that again is lifted off the page and just stuck to the pattern paper, which I then put directly on the back of the background there. and then I lifted it back up because I just wanted an extra layer, an extra bit of texture, so I've added some vellum, which also came in the kits as well, to the background as well. So now I'm using these fuzzy felty stars. They didn't stick very well, but I moved them around my page loads, and then when I was happy with it, I then just glued them down after. I'm also using some flowers, which also came in one of the ephemera packs, and I went with the black and white flowers. I thought about colouring them in, but I decided I liked the way they looked, just left black and white. And then I've added some foam and glue to my title so that it sticks down nicely. Just the tape, it wasn't secure enough. It needed wet glue to kind of keep it secure because of so many layers on the layout by now. So I add those two on there around my photo, and now I'm happy with the placement of everything. I'm just adding glue. I've added glue to, like I say, to the stars as well. I don't film all of that because I've faffed around a bit with it, to be honest. So now I'm taking the insides off these brads. They're the backless brads, so they're just like a sticker, but I'm just taking the insides out of it so it leaves the silver rim on the actual backing still, because I didn't want that. I just wanted them like enamel dots on this one. And now I'm just adding a little more of my Little Rainbow Moon paint just as a finishing touch over the top, so some of those splashes are on the paper layers, just to tie it all in together. And that is me done today. So thanks for joining me. Please do join me again on Mondays. I'm trying to do Mind the Scrap every single Monday from now on, in theory. So I hope you'll join me again for that. And if you're new to my channel, I'd love for you to subscribe if you've enjoyed the video, and please do give me a thumbs up if you have as well. Have a great evening, everyone. Bye.